we are not doing any kind of revolution.
Yeah.
So we are doing an evolution.
The same kind of things that were said about the internet at the beginning, very negative things, people are going to steal your money, like don't use e-commerce, etc., are being said about crypto as well, right?
Before it was like up to 5 days, expensive, all these kind of things, and now just seconds or milliseconds, it's happening like that.
Technology wins. If you have something that is faster, cheaper, easy to use, people are going to use it.
You're not just reinventing the wheel. So you're taking best practices from bigger market, traditional market, and you just put it on chain and on such beautiful hardware devices. When you touch stocks, it's like iPhone in the world of digital security.
Hello and welcome to the Ledger podcast. In the world of digital assets, trust is a currency that's more valuable than any token. It's turned in drops and it's lost in buckets. After years of market volatility and high-profile failures, the question of every builder in the space is, how do you build a platform that people can truly rely on? How do you balance the power of decentralized finance with security and simplicity of centralized services? So today I'm joined by a founder who has been navigating these questions, Ilya Vulkov. You're the co-founder and CEO of Youhodler, a platform that has carved out a unique space by blending the best of centralized financial services with the best of self-custody. You're also a board member of the Switzerland Crypto Valley Association that we work with quite a bit and that we value quite a lot because you guys do amazing things there as well. We'll talk about it a little bit, which gives you like a front row seat to the evolution of the industry. So thank you so much for being here, Ilya. We're really glad to have you in the podcast studio of Ledger. Your first time at 106, so we're going to show you around also the space. And on a very special day, because as you know, it's Ledger Open today, you're one of an important member of like 2,000 people that are coming to see us today. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, and it looks really amazing. Your office in general, the studio. So yeah, thank you for having me here.
No, we're super glad to have you. So let's start with the big responsibility at the core of your business. You manage a hybrid platform that combines the accessibility of centralized services with the power of digital ownership. From a treasury and risk management perspective, what are the unique challenges and anxieties that come with safeguarding hundreds of thousands of individual user balances as opposed to managing a single consolidated corporate treasury? Like basically what keeps you up at night?
Look, so we've been at the space for many years already, and we've been working with you guys, with Ledger for many years. So it's like a complex job, and we're managing a lot of different pieces. So basically, we're very similar to, like I would say, even big traditional financial institution, but we are quite different because we're combining two sides. So we're combining traditional side with multiple traditional currencies, traditional payment solutions, and a bunch of blockchain networks, right? So, and it's possible because of, again, many years of hard work, and it's possible because of partnerships with guys like you, right? So what keeps me how did it say?
Up at night. What keeps keeps you from sleeping at night? Like what worries you?
Crypto never sleeps, as we are. We keep working 24/7. So it's a joke, of course.
No.
But it's an exciting market. So you can sleep, but you're still, processing a lot of interesting things happening around.
Yeah. So, the one thing about this space, and then we're hoping, it's in the DNA of Ledger to make sure that it happens less and less, or it doesn't happen at all for the people that are secured by our systems and by clear signing, etc. But we keep seeing, hacks and all these different threats. It's not like they're getting any lesser. It's like every year there's more hacks happening, and probably, you can forecast that next year there'll be even more than there was last year, even though last year was pretty good by a bit, 1.4 billion, et cetera, et cetera. But really, like, the hacks become like more and more sophisticated, right? Like there's phishing schemes that, and then there's always this risk of like an internal or human error. So when you manage like a dynamic ecosystem of users, funds across yield accounts, trading and loans, what are like the specific attacks vectors that keep you up at night again? What is your foundational philosophy for mitigating them? Like, when you're looking at all these risks, what are you thinking to make sure that like they don't actually hit you?
Yeah, look, so on one side, there are a lot of traditional rules to follow.
Yeah.
Again, we're not speaking about something extremely new, right? So financial companies, financial institutions are around for hundreds of years,
Yep.
right? So first of all, we're following traditional rules.
Yes.
We are using the best experience, right, from coming from traditional market. On the other side, we're relying on top quality solutions available in the market. That's why actually we're partnering with you for many years, right?
Yep.
So, and why we do that? Because we see that you have like a proven technology. So you have really good UX in terms of like UX that already based on the right governance rules,
Yes.
right? So, and you have amazing people behind who are supporting us, navigating us with implementation of new features that are needed to stay, on top of something happening around, right? So, but again, it's a hard work. It's like many people involved. It's like significant part of the business to keep an eye on all kind of risks, to follow traditional rules, to follow top technologies. So yeah. By the way, I really like this stacks devices.
Yes.
We started with you guys when it was Ledger Blue, I think, right?
Of course, which was
So,
the first device that Ledger had
many
ever
years
launched.
ago.
Yes.
And it's like an amazing progress. I still have both. So, and when you touch stacks,
Yeah.
it's like iPhone in the world of digital security.
That was definitely an upgrade, I think, for all our customers, because we obviously moved from so Blue, as you said, like was the first actual device developed by Ledger, even before obviously like these new ones. So it took us a while to do the upgrade because you had to change a lot of things in the system. But what you're saying resonates, because we hear it from a lot of our customers, because it's faster. Blue had a tendency, been around for so long. To maybe have issues like in operation, etc. You always want the signer, because for sure that's the thing that keeps you safe, But like now you have a signer that looks better and that like works faster. So for sure it's been a nice upgrade. So thank you for that. One thing I'm thinking, because you're talking about following these kind of traditional rules, was the fact that, Ledger was built on HSM technology, which is, what a lot of like traditional banks, et cetera, use. This isn't like a new technology, right? It's a technology that's been around forever. It's on your credit, like the chip on your credit card. The secure element is, also like HSM is linked to that. Was that like reassuring? Was this a way of saying, well, they're doing technology kind of like the way that traditional finance is doing technology? So there's something reassuring about that.
Yeah, but the key thing is that, and this is actually the core of our business, and this is the core of our philosophy. Mm-hmm. So we are not doing any kind of revolution. Yeah. So we are doing an evolution, right? Mm-hmm. So we're supporting an evolution.
Yeah.
So let's take, for example, your like governance rules that predefined at Ledger Enterprise. Yep. So it's not just something revolutionary new, right? This is just the same logic implemented in the traditional world, right? So if we speak about traditional bank, like multi-signature, it's here for, again, hundreds of years to approve any kind of transaction, even like paper cash transaction. Traditional bank, even hundreds of years ago, what they did, they asked at least two managers to sign, right?
Makes sense.
So this is exactly the same, but in the new, modern, more convenient, more secure, way, right? So, and I always saying that, guys, you're doing a great job, because you're not just reinventing the wheel. So you're taking best practices from bigger market, traditional market, and you just put it on chain and on such beautiful hardware devices.
Thank you so much for that. But I think that's very true. And I think that's what we hear from financial institutions. Like, again, and I like your idea of saying it's not a revolution, it's just an evolution, right? I think that makes all the sense in the world.
And that's what we do. So basically, we're not just a crypto company, right? So we are financial company with both sides. So with traditional side, we have multiple traditional currencies and multiple traditional payment solutions. So we have integrated bank accounts, we have card payments integrated for both pay-ins, payouts. So we have even fancy but still traditional payment solutions on one side. On the other side, we have all crypto features, like all major networks, all major coins and tokens. So we're combining both.
So For a regulated entity, security obviously is a core part of your compliance and licensing and license to operate. How has this shaped your approach to building your technology stack from day one? The fact that you're like regulated.
Again, it's a hard work. So, simple, but not simple. But seriously speaking, so from day one, we decided to focus on compliance and follow all the rules. Because to me, from day one, it was clear that at some point this market will be regulated, right? So, and we see now that companies who were just operating like on the wild west, they are not around anymore, right? So again, it was clear that this market, I mean, crypto market, will become a part of bigger market. What is happening now? So, and that's why for us now it's a bit easier to follow the rules because we've been, investing in this part of the business from day one. Maybe it's a bit easier, but still it's hard work, especially this year with the new rules coming into force in Europe, with a lot of changes happening around. So, I think it's something essential. All right, so that's why we're doing that, and I will keep doing that. But for someone who is starting this business now, or thinking about transformation from, let's say, unregulated business to regulated business, I just like to openly say that again, it's
hard work.
It's a hard work, and it's a lot of human involvement, a lot of budgets needed, a lot of bureaucracy issues, and in some countries. Bureaucracy is like at the top level. I know one country.
I think we live in one of those.
It's a motherland of global bureaucracy. I'm not joking, by the way.
No, it's true.
So I mean, if someone is watching this video just to get some piece of like expertise, so be ready to invest a lot in this part, and it will be even harder next years, I think.
So I was telling you off camera that as we, this afternoon when we were going to be doing the keynotes for Open, I actually mentioned Youhodler in my speech as one of our customers and partners that's in the room with us. So we're looking forward to that. But you guys do the same because when you go on your website, it actually says, like secured by Ledger Enterprise. So it's not like buried somewhere in a white paper. It's a direct message to your customers. So why is it important for you to communicate your security partner to your end user? And, in a crowded market, what does the Ledger name signify to a potential customer of yours?
So, first of all, again, we are working together for many years, right? So, Ledger Enterprise solution is deeply integrated into our architecture, right? So, it's tested, it's proven. And we're proud, and that's why we're happy to share and to make it public, right? So, it's working good, many years. So really good connections. So number one. Number two, the value of your brand. So guys, don't be shy. Your brand is like a good brand, right? So
a beautiful brand.
A beautiful brand, expensive already brand, right? So and we're proud to be partners with you. So it brings some additional marketing value, right? So as for our customers, so very good that you have two legs of your business. So you have retail with Ledger Life and hardware devices, right? And you have enterprise business. So our customers are customers of yours, speaking about retail. So they're using their Ledger hardware devices, Ledger Life. That's how they already know you, right? So, and when they see that we have your technology under our hood, so it works well for both.
Because it's already trusted on the consumer side. So they're thinking, okay, if I can trust it on the consumer side, I can trust it on the institutional side.
Exactly. So, and just because we're following some hybrid approach, so we're combining, as you said in the beginning, by the way, thank you for the intro. It was really good. So we're combining both. We're combining the benefits of decentralized world, self-custody world with the world of centralized financial institutions. So, and if you look at our application, so you can operate by connecting your non-custodial self-custody device to our application, and you can benefit from like lending service, trading service. You can benefit from getting direct access to euro on your bank account, all these kind of things. And on the other side, if you go to Ledger Life, right? So you can just simply plug in to our services from Ledger Live environment. So it's like a deep interconnection. And again, it's our philosophy to push this kind of interconnections and this kind of hybrid approach. And again, coming back to your question, so it's good to be partners, and it's good to be transparent and to show who are partners around. And this is how I think market is developing in general, by partnerships, by supporting each other.
For sure.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's why we're happy to have you here and showcasing, what we do together. And we, you're mentioning Ledger Live, but also like Ledger Enterprise, like both are platforms, right? Like, so they're platforms that, can be used by users, like, and customers, etc. But on top of that, it's also a platform where we're going to be integrating like staking providers and on the consumer side, like swap providers, buy, earn, etc. It's not like Ledger providing these services, right? They're provided by third parties that we partner with because it makes the ecosystem better, because it's going to help our users, right? So whether our user is a consumer or an institution, we want to make sure that they're in a space where they have access to everything. I think that's really, really important. There's been like a growing interest in Youhodler from the SME segment, like small and medium-sized enterprises. It's a major shift from the beginning of crypto. What was like the aha moment for your SME clients when they started using your platform?
Actually, it's a big shift, and it's a big shift for all of us, right? Because when we see traditional business joining the space, we see like a big positive move on the market in general, because we're getting more volumes, we're getting more use cases, we're getting more attention from newbies, right? So what is happening when we speak about our customers, corporate customers, we speak mostly about SMEs, mostly doing some international trading business. To give you an idea, like we have our authorization in Spain, we have our authorization in Argentina, right? So we have Spanish companies who are buying something from Argentina, right? So and before they were paying just using SWIFT.
Yep.
Expensive transaction,
slow,
takes like up to 5 days, all these kind of things. Now what is happening? They're doing on-ramping with us in Spain, transacting using stable coins to Argentina, and off-ramping is happening on the Argentinian side to peso or to dollars. They love dollars.
Yeah, of course they do.
So, and we know why. So, and the wow moment, you asked me about wow moment, is that actually it's so seamless, it's so easy. So, as I said already, actually, so we have multiple traditional payment features and traditional features in general integrated to the platform. So the wow moment is that when companies seeing that they can use us as like again, traditional solution by using just a bank account inside the application. And it's so easy to transfer your euro to just traditional bank account, then click one button and you instantly get stablecoin. Just a matter of seconds, 24/7. And you can do the same other way around. When you receive stablecoins, you can click and get euro or peso or dollar to your bank account. So the wow moment was that before it was like up to 5 days, expensive, all these kind of things, and now just seconds or milliseconds, it's happening like that, and it's like a seamless integration of like a bank account and stablecoins. So this is working. This brings wow moment, and actually we're progressing a lot, and we're finding even it's like, again, speaking about evolution, more rails are coming to process these kind of transactions, right? So I just mentioned stablecoins, but in addition to stablecoin, it's possible to use Bitcoin, right? So it's possible to make simple conversion from euro to Bitcoin, use Lightning milliseconds to just shoot this transaction across the ocean, and then do another transaction from Bitcoin to local currency there. This is also already happening, and we do that together with Lightspark, for example, using their technologies. So, by the way, speaking about partnerships, you see, so we have trusted partners for custody part, Ledger, so we have trusted partners for rails, different kind of rails like Lightspark, and this is how you actually progress
like
and build
you
your
build an
business.
ecosystem,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
sure. So you were talking about, the fact that there's new entrants, et cetera, into the space, and for sure, like I think one of the differences in this cycle is really that it's driven by institutional adoption more than retail. Like, all the bull runs in the past and have been driven by retail. And this time, it really feels that, like, obviously the ETFs first with BlackRock, et cetera, but they represent, now like probably like 12, 15% of like, what's happening at least at the Bitcoin level. So that's stabilizing like a little bit the space. But it really changes like the overall dynamic of the crypto market in some ways. Like, but do you think it brings more stability? Does it bring new challenges? Both?
Both. Stability first.
Yeah. Which is
Why?
good.
Because of the purpose, right? So if the purpose, like, let's look back at like 2017, 2018, right? It was like an ICO boom, only like greed was driving the market. Of course, volatility was just extremely high. Then we saw like a period with still mostly investment use cases.
Yep.
We saw a lot of interest in majors like Bitcoin. It's still happening, and Bitcoin we see now is considered being like a digital gold more and more, like a very good store of value. But still, it's more about volatility. It's more about buying, selling, or just hodling or holding, right? But by getting more institutionals who are using crypto not just for investments, but for payments mostly, we're getting more volumes, more inflows to the market, and that brings more stability, right? Which is very good. So even like in our normal life, you need a balance between business and like personal life, right? By having balance, you live like a happy person, right? Same is here. If you speak only about investments, so
It's
it can
limited.
be risky. If you just use it for payments, again, just one-sided. But if you combine both, and you see, again, I'm speaking about hybrid approach. You have two pieces, you have some balance, and market become more stable. But at the same time, as you said, it brings more challenges. Again, speaking about regulations. Why regulators in many different countries are still a bit confused? Because for them, it's not really clear what is it, like crypto. Is it like another asset class and we should regulate it as an asset class? Or it's like another payment solution and we should regulate it as a payment solution? And for many of them, it's still like a confusion. But the truth is that it's both. It's a technology. So it's a technology, and you can use this technology for one use case or another, and regulators should follow the roots of, again, traditional approach. If we speak about investments, don't reinvent the wheel. Use just regulatory approach like you use for investments. If it's payments, use it for payments. Maybe it's not a topic, but
but it's super interesting. And I think, and to your point, like when you're talking about this evolution, and I think, obviously the regulators play a big role in there, but at the end of the day, technology wins, right? It's like, and it was the same with the internet, right? And what's interesting is that the same kind of things that were said about the internet at the beginning, very negative things, people are going to steal your money, like don't use e-commerce, etc., are being said about crypto as well, right? They're saying, crypto is for, at the beginning, I think it's changed quite a bit. But at the end of the day, if you've built a technology, and you gave that very good example of like comparing Swift to what's happening today with stablecoin, technology wins. If you have something that is faster, cheaper, easier to use, people are going to use it. And I think that, and you were mentioning this idea of like payments on the one hand, investment on the other. But I think that, as we go, now it's like lending, borrowing. Like people are like in the US, like the level of people that are doing, home loans using crypto, like Bitcoin as collateral is like, going like crazy. And so that's another use case, right? Like lending.
Exactly, yeah.
And the bigger the surface of use cases, the more stable the ecosystem is going to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. And yesterday night, actually, we had some interesting discussion with our friends. I have my all-time friends in Paris, and we were lucky enough to spend a couple of hours yesterday chatting.
Nice.
So that's right, something you just said. But also it's important that new technology, when it's getting, adopted by the market in general, it can transform the technology a bit, but at the same time, it's affecting the bigger market in a good way. It's like what happened with Bitcoin. It was started like some very fancy, very far away from everything we know now, an idea of decentralization, store of value, payments maybe, but Bitcoin white paper itself was quite abstract to normal people, right?
For sure.
But now we see that you can use Bitcoin as an investment or as a payment trail, both, right? So current investments and current payments are a bit far away from Bitcoin maxi views on like even some maybe anarchy, things like when people were saying that we will use Bitcoin to
like the Bitcoin will replace money.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitcoin against regular money.
And this is itself, it's not just something new. We can make parallel with even like things like Uber. So Uber was introduced some years ago as like
invented in Paris.
Yeah, so like a tool to share your car rides, right? So the idea was like you were just a person like you and I. You're going to your job. You can just post somewhere and just get someone on board and by it you can just get some additional money, right? So the idea was like that, and it was very different to something what is happening now. So Uber is just a big taxi company now, and they are using only professional drivers, right? So the idea of the technology, if we can say technology about the original.
There's some technology.
Yeah, so it was different, but during the process of adoption to the bigger like market, transformed a bit, but finally it changed our life in a positive way.
And back to what I was saying about you having different use cases. It started with cars, but now you're also ordering food, and then you can like put something in a, if you've forgotten like your glasses somewhere, you can put them in a cab and like, have them pick it up for you. I mean, there's multiple, there was a funny thing, in Cannes at some point, they had like Uber choppers, like, helicopters, etc. So they're finding new use cases there. So Airbnb is the same. So I think the same will go with crypto. What are the unique needs of a business compared to a retail user? You were talking about how you're talking to both. What are the problems that they're trying to solve that Youhodler is uniquely positioned to address?
It's mostly about payments, and it's mostly about international settlements.
Okay.
So this is number one. Some of them, of course, are using crypto for treasury. Yeah. Again, it's mostly about Bitcoin, but still the key is about just settlements. The key is about payments. Okay. And their business is becoming more efficient by using like fast, similar.
Yeah, so it's about efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. And it's simple, which is good. So
zooming out a little bit, the next era of digital ownership, which is really what we're going to be talking about today at Open, is about making digital assets safe, accessible for everyone. As you look to onboard the next million or 10 million users in the crypto ecosystem, many of whom will be skeptical after seeing industry failures and different things, what role does provable hardware-based security play in overcoming that trust barrier, you feel?
Of course, yeah. So, but again, and you see, I'm always speaking about hybrid approach and the combination of at least two different things. So hardware security is important because by nature we're like human beings. We'd like to have something hard, right? And that's why it's important to have this kind of features. This is on one side. On the other side, there are a lot of people who still needs to have some care about themselves, right? So there are people who would like to take care of themselves, and that's why they're using like hardware devices, managing their keys, and they're happy with this. And there are second category of people who'd like to take someone to take care of them, right? Both are fine, and we're working with both. And that's why it's important to have, for you guys, to have two solutions as well. Retail for one category of clients, and the second one for companies like us, where we can be like a second layer to satisfy people who don't want to take care of seed phrases and So, and I think it will be developing like that in years ahead. And the focus for all of us should be in the UX and UI,
Yeah.
right? So we should still
Make it simple.
make it easier. So we already have some progress, even like Ledger Stacks devices.
Of course.
It's a big step forward,
Yeah.
right? And we should keep developing this way.
No,
So-
for sure. I mean, we agree. Like, I think one of the big things for us was, and that we've integrated to the hardware is, transaction check.
Yeah.
So as soon as the transaction come in, like, is there like anything that's fishy about it, etc., and then clear signing, which you can do only
Yeah.
on the screen. And then this other thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the fact that the secure element, the chip that's in those devices, is directly tied to the screen, meaning that there's no vector of attack possible.
Mhm.
Unless in your phone you have a secure element, but there's a bunch of things between the screen and secure element, and all of these things, that's where malware can go in. Here, there's no way for the malware to like get in, which is really big, at least like in what the screen is going to show you.
Yeah.
The screen cannot lie to you.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's beautiful.
It is. If we look 5 years down the road and you've achieved your vision of that hybrid model that everyone can use, that is both safe, accessible, how do platforms like Youhodler fundamentally change the relationship between the average person and their digital assets? What do you see in 5 years like that?
First, we'll have more and more assets on chain. We already can see that like 99.9% of assets are already digital.
Yep.
Not on chain necessarily,
Yeah.
but digital. So
course.
we'll have more assets on chain. So and we're helping with this evolution again. So this is number one. Number two, in many cases, just common people will not even see and know that it's happening on chain.
Yeah.
Right. So
It'll be
it will be.
transparent.
Yeah. So let's say someone needs to move Swiss francs. Not someone needs, let's say, to pay for something in Mexico, for example, or to send money to the friend in Mexico,
Yeah.
right? So you have like Swiss francs in Switzerland, and your friend has pesos, right? So now you're doing that using again Swift. Tomorrow it will be just one click. You send Swiss francs, he receives pesos, and you don't care blockchain transaction it was or something else. But in reality, it will be blockchain transaction under the hood. So, and again, we're doing this, right? So we're relying on our partners when we take some pieces of the technology, and that's how we're affecting this, and that's how we're again pushing the boundaries and stimulating the evolution. So this is number two. And speaking about 5 years from now, it's all about, as we just said, about UX and UI.
Yeah.
So we're contributing to the developments of the UI. So
Again, to close, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, but anyone who would be listening to our conversation or watching the video, like a founder or builder in the space, etc., or even somebody that like doesn't know so much about crypto but is starting to get interested, like what's like the one piece of advice that you'd give them about building what you've been able to build, like a lasting, trusted brand in the digital asset industry? Like, what do you need to do that?
So just stay lean and keep working. Never give up.
Yeah.
Like pivots, it's fine, but never give up.
Yeah.
But stay lean.
Yeah.
So
Those are really good advices. Thank you so much, Ilya. It was a great conversation. Thank you for being in Paris. We're happy to show you around the office. Hope you have a great day, and looking forward to the next 5 years in our partnership.
it's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.